Hello and welcome to another gameplay and review video. I will now review the short game Sunlight by Krillbyte Studios. As you know, Krillbyte Studios, their first game was The Plan, which was the first official gameplay and review video that we did with the fly and all that. This is their third game that they have produced. It's just a short game, pretty much a walking simulator through a forest with a story, a little story there. So let's just make sure that everything's good. And let's go.
Welcome. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you focused and not thinking about whatever's bothering you these days? I'm not here to test you. Please relax. Let your thoughts come and go and listen as they fade away in the distance. For better or for worse, this is where your life has brought you. Looking at a screen, listening to me. Imagine, for a moment, that you've just had a child. It's healthy, but unfortunately also completely blind. For their whole life, they will live in the dark and not see a thing. Their perception of reality is something that you might never be able to comprehend. How would you describe the world to them? What can't be touched or heard, smelled or tasted? How would you describe sunlight? By what it does? Or how it feels on their skin? I think I'd play them this piece of music. First composed by Tchaikovsky in 1878, these rays of light have traveled through decade after decade, finally reaching your ears this very moment. You have also traveled far to get here today, but you're only passing through, and should, while you're here, I'd like to tell you a story. It all happened to me when I was young, walking in a forest much like you are. Those were days filled with boundaries and rules,
of no running in the hallways,
don't do this or that or the other. But with my world full of fierce discipline, I walked the forest to breathe.
One day, deep in the woods, I found a funny-looking tree, crooked, old, and wrinkly. With little work, a few bits of bark became huge ships. Calm creeks turned to ferocious
oceans. I can still recall the people I imagined dragged downstream with a sense of guilt. As I gazed back upon the old tree,
I noticed something
peculiar. It was crying. Every crumple,
like eyes closed tightly. Clear drops streaming silently down its wrinkly skin. And so I did as children do.
tasted it. Not because it looked tasty, but to figure out
What it was. The first drop made my tongue tingle. The second made it prickle.
And the very moment the third landed on my tongue, a profound sensation spread through my chest.
Undefinable, like thirst, both vague and specific. One thing was clear.
Something was changing within me. I remember breathing in
And out. Feeding the fire.
Okay, you can see we're in this forest. There's a lot of narration in this game with some mood music. The forest looks like a painting. As you know, this is from the same developer as The Plan.
The following day, I woke with a slight prickle in my fingertips. I studied them closely, discovering circular ridges in the foreign landscape of my skin. The prickling soon slipped my attention.
It would be another week until it returned.
a wave of gentle needles moving over my skin.
A limb falling asleep, perhaps?
I did not start worrying
Until it returned for the third time. First making its way up my neck,
Before engulfing my skull completely from behind, I could even feel the tiny needles covering my eyeballs. But did it not stop there? I held my breath
as the small thorns crawled around my lips before spreading into my lungs and stomach.
my awareness
Spread with it, and I remember
I remember the strangest sensation of my mushy dinner in there.
as if I held its remains in the palm of my hand.
suddenly my body took control and opened my mouth. An explosion of air rushing into my lungs. The tingling spread with it through an endless web of veins.
Soon reaching my beating heart, for a moment I stood in awe.
Of the activity
within my body. I felt my heart beating faster
And my skin sweating.
Your body is your only vessel in this world. And when it misbehaves, the claustrophobia is total. Seek help, I thought.
And at that very moment, tingling needles shot from my brain down through my spine. I felt them scatter through my upper leg, where
When
my
muscles contracted to lift
My knee, my body weight
shifted forward, and a shock wave spread from the foot sole
as it landed softly on the ground. The process repeated itself in great detail
for every step. I was overwhelmed, but my body kept moving.
I did not at all feel like the boss, giving directions.
It all happened automatically,
And I was simply alone,
for the ride.
like you.
doctor's office was cold and white.
Crossing the floor
Felt like a polar expedition. My parents' distant features of the landscape. I wanted to explain, but wasn't able.
My lips and tongue engaged in an intricate choreography, myself in the audience, observing the words performed.
my lips muttered, unsure it will pass.
While my thoughts were crying for help. Conversation kept going, but I stopped paying attention.
Instead, I was following
The hands of a clock mounted on the doctor's wall.
They were both speeding up and slowing down.
I was slipping
further and further away. A levitating camera
In a video game, merging with the code it was running on. Again with the binary, with the electronic circuit, and so on.
I closed my eyes and let my
Sensations lead me. First, I spent some time with my bones.
Among their many functions, I got lost in their continuous
breathing.
an uninterrupted flow of calcium.
Absorbed and released.
Even my skeleton was alive and living, in and of itself.
I could feel my mind clinging to the known,
To the clattering thoughts, the buzzing of memories and fears of the future.
But for each breath,
tension was released.
and
My shoulders sunk.
comfortably. I had certainly felt like I was
In there,
Somewhere behind my face. But I was nowhere to be found. And the more I looked,
the more hazy I became.
When my eyelids eventually opened, they felt as slow as a sunrise.
photons converted to
Neural signals shooting along the optic nerve, each carrying a piece of information into the darkness.
The brain categorized motion, color.
Edges, distance. I sat for a moment in the dusk.
watching the sunrise. When the world eventually lit up,
I was no longer wondering why matter lights up from the inside. My experience had changed from the fire
To the light it emits.
but it would
Get much stranger still.
stretched I started daydreaming, or so I thought.
It began as a shimmery field,
creeping slowly in from the periphery of my vision.
The hands of the clock
Still moving, but among them, vague shapes.
Slowly but surely, I saw trees flowing past me, and among them,
Myself, sitting right there in the doctor's office with a vacant expression.
While walking around myself, I was surprised to still see the clock straight ahead.
Myself,
From the side, the clock on the wall. The two images were not overlapping.
They just coexisted.
like imagining a familiar place with
Your eyes closed, and you see both nothing and something
at the same time.
I turned to look towards myself,
but saw only the face
of the doctor, lingering somewhere between confusion and concern.
And
annoyance.
However, when I studied his face closer, I was struck by terror.
the image of myself
had turned to look straight into my own eyes. I felt my own hand
reach out towards myself. The weight of my hand landing softly on my own shoulder.
Eyes distant, looking at the doctor, looking at myself.
Rules and boundaries disappear.
Spreading.
A delicate wave of nostalgia washing over me, intimate recollections of past sorrow, relationships,
education, and even medical experience. And at last,
I was no longer alone.
Not in the sense that the doctor was there in the room, but rather that we were together.
in the darkness of my mind,
a vast number of
Sensations were still flowing, but now with two observers
to share the burden. Out of sight, a hand picked me up.
And as I kept breathing, the fire kept spreading. Soon,
I swallowed my parents, sitting in their chairs, telling my story.
I felt contradicting opinions and ideas coexist, but not in conflict.
different notes in harmonious chords shaping a balanced, indivisible whole.
More clouds spread into my vision, and more sensations through my body.
The music was evolving. I looked at my hand.
5 fingers against the surface felt no different than 5 bodies or minds. Branches become aware that they were connected to the same trunk all along.
Their experience my own. all of them present within my mind.
The prickling kept spreading. Each needle on my skin, another presence in my mind.
More and more observers sharing the burden. A vast number of sensations flowing. My world, like musical sunlight, just passing through.
Every individual going about their business. Strangers on the street,
unaware that they were all each other, their surroundings, and me.
I knew and felt them all as I knew and felt myself.
And I could no longer feel contempt, or that anyone was somehow less deserving.
There was no longer me and you, no us versus them. It was all just
me.
as I kept breathing in and out.
Each new breath pushed me along a ubiquitous landscape
that was simply too beautiful to ignore.
What lay past each tree and beyond every hill was another idea
I knew to be true.
Mountains,
Transient shadows of matter, floating through time.
slowly from one point of view.
But for the mountain itself, oh boy.
It's in a hurry,
like everyone else.
Both the whirlpool and the stream.
An expression of energy
floating through empty space.
All experiences merging to one.
There I was.
All of us. You, me, I. The light that shines through the film. All of us.
Smoke and mirrors.
This one also ends. Not because the story has an ending, but because it keeps moving, leaving us behind.
My body kept living like yours will, with surfaces preserving its illusion of separateness.
This screen.
Our very own eyes.
I couldn't tell if I ascended or dissolved.
I'm soaring through space, but unable to move nevertheless.
And as I turn in orbit, the boundary between light and dark keeps moving. A cascading wave of force, arriving at dawn, just to slip away at dusk.
fumbling in the dark, trying to describe myself.
I want to be safe, well fed, not too warm, not too cold, to be acknowledged by my closest. So even though
You are another part of me looking back, you will always be a stranger. A lump of resources.
For my exploitation, the branches cut.
Our hemispheres separated once again.
Wrath, skipping over the surface, never sinking in.
The insistent dash of beauty between the noise,
kept up by a stranger with good intentions, and with it, sentenced to die. I don't care
who you are or how you found me. But we are both reaching in.
A few lonely rays, venturing through space, in just the right direction.
absorbed in our leaves,
stored as sweet sugars, and exhaled as crisp and clean oxygen.
And while the light warms our skin,
or while we wait for the next sunrise,
we breathe in and out. All that matters is that you are here right now.
And for a moment, we are together.
You and me as one.
Like we always are. And we always will be.
Okay, it looks like this is towards the end of the game. Okay. That is the end of this short game by Krillbite Studios. I hope you have enjoyed it. It was just a short game. And I'll be making many more reviews in the future. So, goodbye for now. I will see you in the next video.